This is Chuck Schaefer, and I'm joined by Michael Fawcett. Michael leads IDC's Software Business Solutions Group, which includes research and consulting in enterprise software applications, collaboration and social applications, and pretty much all things CRM and customer management strategies and technologies. The purpose of our discussion today is to explore the business opportunity and benefits of customer experience management, the intersection of customer experience and CRM, and any tips, tactics, techniques, or other advice to succeed in customer experience adoption. Welcome, Michael. How are you today?
Great, and good to be here and talk a little bit about customer experience. Pretty exciting, I think, and it's one of the hottest topics that we have, and it's an area that we're really expanding coverage in this year.
I'm glad to hear that. That should make for a good conversation. And let me start off by looking at the big picture, if I could. The call for customer experience adoption by CEOs and business leaders is becoming common and frequent, but the designated goals for these initiatives are less clear or sometimes even elusive. What are the primary objectives companies aspire to achieve when implementing a customer experience program?
I think that we've kind of gotten to the point where companies start to understand that that anytime you touch the customer or any opportunity you have to interact with the customer needs to be a coordinated experience rather than individual siloed experiences. And, you know, it's kind of this evolution. We used to talk about channels, and then we talked about multi-channels, and talked about cross-channels, and now I hear omni-channels. But the truth is, it's one big channel, and I think that's where we start to look at when we start to think about what would that look like if we could put customer experience together in one way to deal with the customer in a coordinated, consolidated view.
You know, Michael, to many, it seems like customer experience strategy would logically fold into CRM strategy and seemingly CRM software solutions. But we're seeing some big CRM software companies approach CX strategy with what they describe as more purpose-built CX software solutions, which integrate to and complement CRM software, but are messaged, packaged, and delivered separately from CRM software. As CX strategy continues to grow, how do you see supporting CX technologies being positioned in the marketplace?
Old days of looking at software, you know, like last week, we used to think of everything in very clear boxes. And the boxes don't work anymore because guess what? If you don't fulfill an order to your customer, they have a bad customer experience. And that's related to your CRM, that's related to your back office, it's related to finance, it's related to the guy in the warehouse, to the guy on the truck. So, I mean, it's way bigger than just the front end that we called CRM in the past. But I think if you start to think of customer experience across this, and as it goes back into your company and touches all these other pieces, that's when we can start to think of what a customer experience suite. And I guess we have to talk about it in a suite, sort of, but it's way bigger, I think, and we have to think of it in that bigger coordinated view, in my opinion.
Beyond CRM solutions, then, are there other particular technologies that you're seeing prove helpful in achieving customer experience strategies?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're certainly seeing an expansion today across, and again, this is more on the front end, and this is very important, but things like loyalty, which is, you know, really important today, loyalty programs and managing loyalty programs, and you know, and capturing more data. So part of that's loyalty, part of that's social media monitoring. You know, those things I think are really important, but it has to continue on. When you think about it, this is a really simple thing that's probably the hardest problem to fix today. How do you know who your customer is every time you interact with your customer? Because it's easy to know when they're in the store, and it's easy to know perhaps if that logged into your website, maybe. But if you think about all the time that you could touch the customer, or even when that customer is removed into a social network, how do we connect? How do we know who that customer is across all these different channels? I mean, frankly, that's the that's the biggest part of the thing. My experience with you is coordinated only if you know who I am every time you interact, and that's a huge issue and a huge opportunity, I think.
Let me sort of take that opportunity and issue forward. Customer experience aims to put the customer at the center of the company universe and help companies become customer centric. It's an admirable goal, but why do you think CRM software hasn't, or CRM strategy with supporting software hasn't already achieved this goal over the last couple decades?
Model of the industrial society that continues in business today, even though we're not in that model anymore, particularly. It's this very siloed approach to everything, and so each place in your company that interacted with your customer, they may have been customer centric in their own dealings, but they weren't able to work across that to other parts of the company. So even if you were customer centric in sales, and maybe you are in support, but if sales and support don't work together, then you're not, because you're not as a company. And I think that's a big part of the problem today is all the disconnected silos inside and outside and across.
Let me see if I can get your thoughts on transitioning from that problem to the opportunity. Transitioning from a product centric business into a customer centric company is a big challenge. For business leaders who believe they need to make this transition, how do you recommend they get started?
We need to step back first and go, okay, what is it we're really trying to do when we say that? What is customer centric? What does customer experience mean to our company? Let's think about this in a broad perspective. And then you have to work across where the highest value is to try to work through these problems. And, there's a good chance that you've got internal issues that you have to deal with. So, what silos do you have? Do you have collaboration? Kind of these new enterprise social network, I like to can you deal with some of your silo issues there? It's not just a technology problem. It's a culture problem. It's a process problem. It's an integration problem. I mean, it really is the whole company. So I got to look at this in a broader perspective, and rather than thinking I'm going to fix the CRM system, I'm going to fix the company and the systems that support the company to do that. That sounds really big, but the detail then is start with this, and then this, and then this, and maybe for me, this company, maybe the solution is we want to do loyalty first. Maybe for this company, it's we've got to work on our data management. For this company, it's we should work on social. It's going to be different based on your business, but the idea, strategy, objectives, tactics, and work through it in a phased way. That'll work no matter where you are, and each place to start may be different.
Good advice on a process to move forward. Do you have any other advice for business or IT leaders who are about to embark on a customer experience journey?
I think that this is a company experience, and you've got to involve the broad population of your company. And there's great ideas and great people scattered across your business and your customers and your partners. So you can solve a lot with in the short term with people that are really oriented in the right way. But over time, you've got to solve with integration and with systems and automation and tying all the pieces together. So there's a progression you can go through that's a very natural growth of the company, and as the culture shifts to a point, then you can help it shift to the next point and to the next point. I kind of laugh because sometimes companies will go like, well, should we think about this? Should we do this? Like, you better. I don't see why that people think this is a choice. This is a business. You've got to figure out how you deal with the social customer, because you just do. I mean, or don't stay in business. That's as simple as it is.
And with that advice, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer, and I've been joined by Michael Fawcett. Michael, thank you for your comments and insights, and thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Chuck.